previous lesson, we sort of learned how to solo with just one simple pattern, just on one string. And hopefully you went and practiced that a little bit. And now we're going to get on to lesson 2, where you can take this 3-2 pattern and find it all over the fretboard. So in the key of C, these are all of the roots, second and thirds, or that's the 3 part of that 2-3 repeating phrase. And you can see that these are all over the place obviously on a fretboard. And I'll explain later a simple trick that allows you to find these, all of these. But I'll just show you some simple, I guess, sort of pattern recognition that'll show you how these all connect. So you can see if you're playing a root 2-3 on pretty much any string, all you have to do is go one string down and one fret over, and you get to the next root 2-3. And that works across almost all of the strings, not the second string, because the B string is tuned kind of differently. And so when that's the case, if you happen to be doing a root 2-3 on the B string, you have to just drop directly down to the third string, and then you find the root second and third. And then you can also, if you wish to, if you're just playing a root 2 and a 3, you can just go up 2 strings and over 2 frets, and you can find another root 2-3. So that's just a simple way to sort of help you figure out how to find all these different, all the different 3 parts of that 3-2 pattern. Or because the B note is tuned slightly differently, if you're going from the 4th to the 2nd string or the 3rd to the 1st string, you have to go down 2 up and 3 over. So let me show you how this works. And so there are, kind of easy ways to navigate around where all these different sort of 3-note patterns are, the C, D, and E. So here's the first one. And then if you want to go to the next one, it's up here. Sounds exactly the same. So it's always a very similar pattern. So C, D, E, or 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And it's always going to be there. So I can find them here. I can also find one from here. So if I want to find another one, it's right here. So there's one here. Go down here. So it's as simple as going. And then there's always the 2 up here. There's also a C here. So that's just one way of sort of navigating around it. Here's another one on the 4th string. But if you want to go up to the 2nd string, instead of going from here to here, it doesn't sound right because this string is tuned differently. So you go from here, you go up to here. So it's. But you can find all of these. One here. So it's a really simple way to find those 3 notes all over the fretboard. So these are the 5th and 6th notes of the major pentatonic scale, and it's the 2 part of that 2-3 pattern that I've talked about. And one easy way to navigate between those, if you need to, is that in most cases what you can do is you go down 1 string or to a lower string and go over 2 frets to the right. And you'll go from 1, 5, 6 to the next 5, 6. And again, because the B string is tuned slightly differently, when you go from the B string to the 3rd string, instead of going 1 up and 3 over, you go 1 up and 2 over. So these are the 5th and 6th notes in that pattern I was talking about. And if you want to get to them on the next string, it's here. Now it's a little bit different because it's tuned. Remember, this one string is tuned differently, but to go from here, then you just go up to here. And again, you can navigate all over the fretboard using these sort of patterns. So now you know So if you can learn all of those, that sort of 3-2, 3-2 pattern, very quickly you can figure out where all of those patterns are all over the neck. So if you put all of this together, so you have the 3-part of the pattern and the 2-part of the pattern, if you put it all together, this is what it looks like on a fretboard. So this looks actually like a lot of notes. But if you just select this one area, this is actually all of the pentatonic notes on the entire fretboard. And there's roughly 18 of them. You might get another one if you're able to go up to the 20th fret on an electric guitar and so on. But let's look at all of these notes just on their own. So if you lay out that 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 pattern in this fashion, you pretty much cover all 18 pentatonic notes. The rest are really just simply duplicates. It doesn't mean you don't go there, but these are all of the pentatonic notes that are, for instance, for the C scale. And you can see on a piano, it's a very consistent pattern as well. 3-2, 3-2, 3. And you can see where middle C is and all that. And those are the notes on a piano laid out in a very similar fashion as you would lay them out on a guitar or on the fretboard. So if we recap, we've got all of these 3-2 patterns, the root, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th, 6th, that repeat all over the fretboard. And there are various ways to sort of navigate it around, as I've shown you before with these blue arrows. So I'd encourage you to go find some backing tracks, probably in the key of C again is easiest, but you can choose any key if you start on the right note and use this 3-2 pattern when you're playing around with it, and learn how to navigate from one 3-2 to another 3-2, or a 3 to a 3, or a 2 to a 2, and just practice it and get a feel for it. And then we'll get into lesson 3, where we'll learn how to use this pattern to start to learn the major and minor scales. So not just the pentatonic, but the major and minor scales.